Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Film My Run on Zwift. My name is Stephen Cousins and we are broadcasting live around the world on Facebook, on twitch.tv, on Mixer and on YouTube. While we're getting everything set up, it would be absolutely awesome if you could go and subscribe to the Film My Run YouTube channel and also the Zwift Runs and Rides YouTube channel. You can also find us on Facebook at facebook.com/filmmyrun, on Twitter at filmmyrun, and you can also go to the website, which is www.filmmyrun.com. It's very nearly time, so sit back, relax and watch me do all. Evening everybody, 10k run tonight, starting at 11.4 kilometers an hour. Every kilometer we get 0.2 of a kilometer per hour faster. By the end we'll be running at 13 kilometers an hour and we'll have a little cool down at the end. So, welcome to Zwift. This is Zwift Running. I'm Stephen Cousins from Film My Run. Got quite a nice start line today. Good few people. And here we go in 6 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And away we go. So we need to be running at 11.4 kilometers an hour. So we'll just get up to that speed. The run leader, Tim, did say start at 11.4, so that's what we need to do. Now, that's me in the white. Our run leader, Tim, is wearing yellow and he has a yellow beacon over his head, an arrow pointing to his head. So hopefully you can see that. I'm the one in the white, I've got a white cap on. I'm also the one in the black in real life. Hello. I'm in my shed in the back garden. Welcome along if you've never seen Zwift before. Zwift is a virtual cycling and running game. We're running in real time with real people all over the world. Cyclists, runners, triathletes, on their treadmills, on their bike trainers, in their gardens, in their sheds, in their garage, in their bedroom, in their pain cave. Here we go. I'm going too fast, aren't I? Need to drop back a little bit. That's a ride on from John Hancock. Hi, John. There's Tim. Okay, Driscoll, thank you for the ride on. So, first thing you might notice is how hard it is to stick to the prescribed pace. Because when you're running on a treadmill, it's very easy to put pressure on the treadmill to either slow down or speed up without even touching the treadmill itself. So we're going around about the right pace, and after a kilometre we'll speed up just a little bit. As long as we stay with Tim, we should be okay. I am watching Facebook chat, so if you want to ask a question, you want to say hi, type a message, drop me a line. I'll try and look at Facebook every so often. So we're half a kilometre in and we're just about keeping to pace. You can see at the top left there, it's my heart rate and my pace in kilometres per hour, so in minutes per kilometre, sorry. So I'm running at 5 minutes 20 per kilometre. My heart rate is 137. That puts me in zone 3, which is the yellow zone in the middle there. You can see there's a green zone, a blue, and then further up the other side, orange and red when you're really pushing it hard. Just below that you can see my kilometre splits. Haven't done a kilometre yet, but you'll see them rack up as the 10k go by. And then on the right hand side, the names of all the runners and riders, the names of all the runners in this event today. And we got a first timer today joining us for an event. Very well known runner in the UK called Steve Way. He's a couple of people ahead of me. Thank you, Ginger Citizen, for the ride on. So Steve's just got himself a treadmill. Steve is a UK Britain runner, ultra runner. Steve shot to fame a few years ago because of a kind of a meteoric rise to prominence when he had an amazing result at the London Marathon, where essentially if you took all the elite athletes away, Steve won the London Marathon. I think it was 2 hours 16, possibly. And since then, Steve's grown in prominence, and seen a lot of events in the UK. Represented Great Britain at the 100 kilometre World Championships. So, Tim's just said 11.6. So away we go, just speed up a bit. I'm a little bit behind the main group, aren't I? Main group are about 5-6 seconds ahead of me. So let's actually just catch them up a bit, shall we? So Simon says hi, Jinxie says hi, John Hancock says hi on Facebook chat. If you want to chat on Facebook, if you want to leave me a message or ask a question, please do. Thank you for the ride on, Kayser. Thanks for the ride on, Holt. And thanks for the ride on, Steve Beckett. So ride on is like kudos and Strava. If you want to say well done to somebody, or kind of just, you know, hello there, good running kind of thing, it's called a ride on in Zwift, because Zwift was originally a cycling platform and running has just started to appear as a thing. More and more of us getting on the treadmill and going running now. Tara says hello, great setup. Thank you, Tara. So we need to talk about Tara. Yesterday, sometime in the afternoon, I was looking at Facebook and a post came on saying, what's the distance record for Zwift? How far has somebody run on Zwift? And it was from Tara. And I was about to say, well, furthest anyone has run is 50k that I know of. I've done a marathon distance. A couple of other people have done marathon distance. So obviously 26.2 miles. And 50k is 31 miles. And Tara, I read further in her post, and I kind of couldn't believe it for a second, because it said she'd just done a 24-hour charity event and she'd completed 160 miles. Yes, you've just heard that right. 160 miles on a treadmill in 24 hours. Absolutely unbelievable. Thanks for the ride on K Bonham. Don't believe it, do you? Well, it's true. Now, you can be very sceptical about these things, and as you do, go and check on various websites, see if this person has any previous form. You know, 160 miles, let's face it, by a female on a treadmill is unbelievable in 24 hours. And a lot of people, I'm sure, didn't or don't believe it. However, do a bit of digging and you find that Tara has some form. She's not really well known as an ultra runner, but if you look at some results that she's had in the past, if I can find it myself. Hold on. Okay, Tara ran a race called the North Coast 24 last year. And the North Coast 24, she did 131 miles, approximately 130 miles in 24 hours. And that's on I think on a track, or certainly on a flat course anyway, but in the real world, not on a treadmill. And then you realise that she's got a live streamed video of her 24-hour run. So not only does she have some prior form, but Tara has the entire 24 hours on video of her running the 160 miles. So it's very hard to doubt what she says she's done. The most cynical amongst us will still question it. But you know what? Absolute kudos to her. I've had a little chat with her on Facebook over the past 24 hours, and she's got a pretty incredible story in that the reason that she's not very well known, the reason that she doesn't get out there all that much, is because she cares for her disabled son at home most of the time, all of the time. And so travelling, going to races is simply not a real option for her a lot of the time. So the fact that she's done this is absolutely amazing. So go and give Tara a ride on, some kudos on Strava. Go and say hi to her, and well done for absolutely smashing the Zwift distance record. And do you know what? It's pretty much a world record. It wouldn't be counted as a world record, but if you look on the treadmill world record stats, it's not far off the fastest, the most distance that any woman has ever done on a treadmill in 24 hours. So well done, Tara. That's a good looking chap there. Oh, it's me. Okay, we're keeping a steady pace, sitting behind Tim. Tim is giving us instructions to gradually increase the pace every kilometre. and we're currently supposed to be running at about 11.8 kilometers an hour. So I'm kind of sitting there somewhere, hanging back maybe a little bit. So, Stan tells me that the North Coast 24 that Tara did when she did 130 miles is a 0.9 of a mile loop, and it's not completely flat. I don't know about you, but I find running on the treadmill actually harder than running out in the real world. I can go a lot faster in the real world than I can on a treadmill. Well, at the moment I think I can anyway. Sharon says hi. Hello Sharon. Russ Crowder says 160 miles is massive. Certainly is. Little plug for my own run coming up. Arc of Attrition. I did it last year. It's in about 3 weeks from now. The Arc of Attrition is a 100-mile race with 5,000 metres of elevation around the coast of Cornwall. It's going to be pretty gruesome, but I'm looking forward to it. I want to try and get around about 26 hours if I can. Last year I did it in just under 30, 29 hours 50 minutes. So we'll see if I can do it in a bit faster this year. Okay, coming up to 3 kilometres, not far away now. And Tim will give us another instruction to increase to 12 kilometres an hour. There we go, in fact, right on cue. So we'll bump it up. I'm just a bit behind, so I'm going to just catch a few people up, I think. So I'll just go a bit faster. If you want to find out more about running on Zwift, do go and join the Facebook Zwift Runners group, and you'll find lots of experienced runners and lots of newbies, everyone asking questions, trying to help each other out. There's a lot of questions that can easily be answered, guys. If you go and look at the FAQs on the Zwift Runners page, the information, the pinned post, a lot of your questions will be answered there. One of the main questions is, what's the best foot pod to use? And it's almost an impossible question, but not totally impossible. If you want to spend the money, if you've got money to spend, by far and away, most people agree the best foot pod you can get is the Stryd foot pod. It's spelled S-T-R-Y-D. It's expensive, about $200 US, £150 maybe, but it seems to be able to keep pace well on Zwift on a treadmill. All the other foot pods do have their own little inaccuracies and unreliabilities. The next foot pod I would recommend would be the Garmin standard Ant Plus foot pod, about £40 to £50. It will only work on Ant Plus though, so You can't use it on your iPhone or your iPad or Apple TV. Well, you can, but you have to get other equipment as well in order to convert the signal from Ant Plus to Bluetooth. The Stride broadcasts in Ant Plus and Bluetooth at the same time. If you want the cheap option, you can get the Milestone footpod. That's a Bluetooth footpod. It's relatively cheap, it's about 25 UK pounds on Amazon. And it's a good starter. If you calibrate it well and you have a fairly even stride, then it should do just fine. The problem with footpods is you can only calibrate them to one speed. So say your general running pace is 12 kilometers an hour. You calibrate it at 12 kilometers an hour, it'll work fine. But if you start doing intervals,
if you are interested in running on Zwift, then you do need a few things. First and foremost, access to a treadmill. You may have your own, you may need to go to a gym, but it doesn't matter what kind of treadmill you use. Secondly, if you are on a Mac or a PC, you will need a footpod, and that footpod needs to be an Ant Plus footpod. It needs to broadcast in Ant Plus. You will also need a USB stick to plug into your computer or Mac, and that will receive the signal from your Ant Plus footpod. If you're using an iOS device, it could be an iPad, an iPhone, or even Apple TV, then you will need a Bluetooth footpod, specifically a smart Bluetooth footpod. You can get them from Polar, you can get a Stride, or you can get a Milestone footpod. These all connect direct to your iOS device, so there's no need for anything extra. And that really is all you need to run on Zwift. So get that footpod, get access to a treadmill, and we'll see you on Zwift very soon.
so as I was saying before, my advert rudely interrupted me. The problem with footpods is once you go faster or slower than the speed you've calibrated at, it won't be as accurate. So Tim's just told us to speed up it again. So we're now supposed to be going at around 12.2 kilometers an hour. I'm going a little faster because I'm still trying to catch up with the main pack at the front there. Mark Sailing says, the Ultra Runner podcast, check it out. Okay. Thanks for that. Will do. There's a few Ultra Runner podcasts around. You've probably all heard of Ian Corliss's Talk Ultra, and there's also the British Ultra Running podcast as well, and run by James Elson. You might also want to listen to Marathon Talk with my mate Martin Yelling. Luke has just said, I love the Flymo in the background. Yes, synonymous with running on Zwift. The Flymo in the shed. Listen, one day when I've got enough money, I will build myself a proper pain cave shed at the bottom of the garden, and we'll have another shed with all the gardening stuff in. Until that time, you have to put up with my gardening stuff in the shed, along with my bike and my treadmill. The course we're on today is the Richmond course, Richmond, USA. This was created by Zwift about 3 years ago to coincide with the World Championship cycling, which was held on this course in the real world. The other courses are London, where you can ride the Prudential Ride 100 course, and the course that everyone loves most of all is the made-up course, the Watopia Island. It's a fictional island, but it means, thanks to the ride on Eric, it means that Zwift can have fun, invent things that you wouldn't see in real life. And that's what we love about Watopia. We can run right through the centre of a volcano, and we can run in glass tubes underneath the sea. So I'm going a bit fast now. I'm kind of with the main group now. See that massive group of riders going past there? There are thousands of people on Zwift these days. When I first started cycling on Zwift in 2015, I could be on Zwift and there would only be another 20 or 30 people on the island. These days, 4,000 people, sometimes 5,000 on the island, or in Richmond as we are today. Steve Way says, stay to the right please. Kevin says it's great watching us all and he can't wait to join us next week. Jason says hello from Texas. Hi Texas. I've been to Austin for the South by Southwest Festival many years ago. Love it in Texas. Yes, he says Texas is flat and he uses Zwift for the hills. So that's something we need to talk about, isn't it? Another question we get a lot on the Zwift Runners Facebook page is about incline. Can Zwift automatically control my treadmill so that when Zwift goes up a hill on the course in the virtual world, I go up a hill on my treadmill? Well, the answer to that is a flat and absolute no. Not at the moment. I know there are treadmills out there which can be controlled and which do broadcast the Bluetooth signal, but as yet there are no plans for Zwift to support automatically controlling the incline of your treadmill. It may well come in the future, but definitely not at the moment. Now, some people say that when they run on Zwift, they manually increase the incline when they go up a hill in Zwift. Do you know what? That's far too much like hard work for me. I know that when Tara was doing her 160-mile run, she said initially she started out doing that, raising the incline manually, but very soon she decided that was a pointless idea, and I never alter the incline. Luckily, here in Sussex, on the south coast of the UK, we've got the South Downs, some nice hills, so we can get elevation into our training down here without much problem. Thanks for watching, Stan. Take care. Hello, Lloyd. Lloyd, my buddy from Worthing Harriers Club, says he'll be back at training tomorrow. My wife has taken over my club training sessions at the moment. I have to look after the kids. My wife is training for her second marathon at the moment, so she's hijacked all my club sessions. Hello to Branso in the Philippines. Thanks for tuning in, buddy. Good to see you. So yes, final word on incline. You can manually control it if you want to, but I think, to be honest, it's just best running flat on the treadmill until Zwift brings something in which allows you to control the treadmill, or which allows them to control the treadmill, so it takes the manual effort out of it. So I've fallen behind again. Or maybe I haven't. No, not too bad. Not too bad. So the purpose of this session, if you weren't here at the beginning, is 10 kilometres. We started at 11.4 kilometres an hour, and we're gradually increasing the pace every kilometre by 0.2 of a kilometre per hour. So we're kind of vaguely sticking to that general rule. And Tim, the guy with the yellow t-shirt and the orange shorts with the big yellow beacon over his head, he's the run leader, and he's the one in charge of keeping us all together and making sure we behave. We don't run off like maniacs ahead. I do have a bit of a reputation for completely ignoring the rules and regulations, mainly because I'm normally chatting to you, so I can't concentrate on what I'm doing. Cheers for the ride on, Steve. It's a bit difficult. I don't understand how people can give ride-ons when they're running. I find it terribly difficult. I shall dish out a load of ride-ons and Strava kudos after the event. Okay, so a bit faster for kilometre number 7, just coming to the end of kilometre number 8. Look over there on the left, heart rate, and now in zone 4. 157 beats per minute. Spent about 4 minutes in zone 4, which is the orange zone. So if I was going to work really, really hard, my heart rate would go up to 165, 170, and we'd start going into the red zone, which should be anaerobic zone. You really only do that when you're doing an 800 metres or a 5,000 metre, like a park run. If you're really going for it, that's when you would hit that zone 5. Dwayne says hi, he's another viewer in Texas. So yeah, Dwayne says this is his first year running, third year cycling. Keep it up, Dwayne, well done, buddy. And well done, Simon, for leading Group C. Group C is finished now. Kim Hawkins, she says, awesome. Great stuff. But we've got another subject that we need to discuss. I seem to be falling behind a little bit to catch up, I think. And that subject is time zones. One of the recent, very, very prominent questions that a lot of people are asking is why on earth, when I run on Zwift at 7 o'clock in the evening, does it either say I've run at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, or it even says I haven't even run yet and the run doesn't appear till the next day? is very confusing for some people. But the answer is very simple. When you run in London, if you live in the UK, the time zone is the same. So if you're running on Zwift on the London course, it will upload with the same time. However, if you're running on Richmond in the USA, but you live in the UK, unfortunately at the moment, Strava thinks that you've actually run in the USA, in Richmond. And so the time of your run will be the local time to Richmond, USA. Similarly, if you run on the fictional island of Watopia, your time will be stamped with the geographic location of Watopia, which, just for random purposes, has been plonked in the Solomon Islands. The Solomon Islands is actually way behind us in time. So That's happened before. Can you hear me now, guys? Apologies. Are we back on, guys? Thank goodness for that. Sorry about that. Well, I don't know where you lost me. I was talking about the time zone issue. I don't know whether to repeat all that or not. So, time zone issue is to do with where Zwift is located on the map. If you're in London and you live in London, you will have the correct time. If you live in London but you run on Zwift in Watopia or in Richmond, USA, you'll have the wrong time. It's a problem with Strava, not Zwift. Strava needs to create the virtual run type, the same as the virtual ride type for cycling. So yes, if you want to alter the time zone, if you really do want to change it, the only thing to do is to go onto your computer, go into the Zwift file, Zwift folder, find the activities folder within that folder, and find the fit file related to the run that you've done. You can then upload that to a website called fitfiletools.com. You can then alter the time zone, and then from the website at fitfiletools.com you can upload direct to Strava from there. That's the only way I know of to fix the issue. Thanks very much for letting me know about my sound as quickly as you did, guys. I hope I wasn't off for too long. Sometimes, for some reason, the mic just disconnects itself. I have to pull the cable out and plug it back in again. So, into the last 2 kilometres. I'm 3 seconds behind Tim, so I just need to catch him up a bit. Heart rate is 160. We've been firmly in zone 4 for quite a while now, 14 minutes in zone 4. Oh no, Ollie, who's a regular runner with us.
If you are interested in running on Zwift, then you do need a few things. First and foremost, access to a treadmill. You may have your own, you may need to go to a gym, but it doesn't matter what kind of treadmill you use. Secondly, if you are on a Mac or a PC, you will need a foot pod, and that foot pod needs to be an Ant Plus foot pod. It needs to broadcast in Ant Plus. You will also need a USB stick to plug into your computer or Mac, and that will receive the signal from your Ant Plus foot pod. If you're using an iOS device, it could be an iPad, an iPhone, or even Apple TV, then you will need a Bluetooth foot pod, specifically a smart Bluetooth foot pod. You can get them from Polar, you can get a Stride, or you can get a Milestone foot pod. These all connect direct to your iOS device, so there's no need for anything extra. And that really is all you need to run on Zwift. So get that foot pod, get access to a treadmill, and we'll see you on Zwift very soon.
So, 1.5 kilometres to go. Settled nicely in with the pack here. Tim Gross, Steve Way, Chris, I think it's Chris Holt, is it? I can never quite remember, I'm sorry. John Hancock's there. Olsen's there. Georgie from Germany is there. You can see the country flags. South Africa, Norway, the UK, Germany, all represented today.
Just a little plug for my own website, guys. If you're interested in watching videos of real world runs, so ultras, marathons, a few half marathons and 10Ks, I take my camera along to a lot of the races I do. I film them, I make a little video, go over to Film My Run on YouTube, type in Film My Run to the YouTube search and you'll find my videos. Go and have a look at filmmyrun.com, race reports, and another link to my videos from there. Do subscribe to the YouTube channel, Film My Run YouTube channel, and the channel that I upload my Zwift runs to is called Zwift Runs and Rides. So go and have a look at Zwift Runs and Rides YouTube channel as well. Subscribe to that if you want to make sure that you see all the Zwift runs that we do. Every run on Zwift that I do, I tend to stream. 1 kilometre to go, and I think we're going to have a bit of a cool down in a minute. The final thing on Zwift, if you are interested in running on Zwift, you get a free trial period. So I think you get 50 kilometres of trial cycling or running, and then it's about £12 a month. So for that, thank you Ollie for the ride on, for that you get cycling and running, you get racing, you get workouts, you get group runs and group rides. Just catch this lot up. But running as a thing on Zwift is still only just at the beta stage. We're not officially released yet. So we are early adopters, guys. We have to put up with some of the foibles, the problems that you get with new software, with new ideas, new technical innovation. But you know, it's taking off. Zwift running is taking off. It's a fantastic way to train on the treadmill. If you can get yourself a nice big screen and really immerse yourself in the environment of Zwift, it's fantastic. And you can almost forget that you're running on a treadmill. So we're slowing right down now. Thank you for the ride on, Kay Morris. Here we are, all together again. You can see how Zwift can be very social. We all regularly talk to each other on the forums. I've dropped back again. I keep getting dropouts. I have to find a way of sorting that out.
So occasionally, when my internet drops out, I drop out of the game. And when I reappear again, I've lost time. So I need to catch up. It's just over 10k, it's going to be 10.5 kilometres. Or maybe that's why I dropped back, because I slowed down too early. There we go, everyone's slowing down now. So this is 500 metres of cool down at the end of our session. Thoroughly enjoyed that. 400 metres to go just to cool it off. Well done everybody. Tim says well done all. I will just have a look at Facebook chat again in a second. If you've got any final questions, do ask. My laptop's gone off, but I'll check my phone in a minute. Apologies for the mic problem. Try and get that sorted for next time. Great run everyone. Thanks for joining me on Facebook Live. Well done to Steve Way on his first Zwift event. Thanks to Tim Gross for leading us all as usual. If you really want to run on Zwift, come on, get yourself a treadmill. Access to one at least. You can get on at the gym. If you've got a good Wi-Fi connection at your gym, take your iPad along or your iPhone and get running at the gym. Or if you've got a treadmill at home, just get yourself a foot pod. Start off with the Milestone foot pod, nice and cheap off Amazon. If you find you really like it, maybe upgrade to the Stride foot pod or something like that. There are other ones available. There's plenty of Bluetooth foot pods around. Last 100 metres so. The next time I'm streaming on Zwift will be Wednesday night. I will also be leading the B group, the Group B. So if you want to run on Wednesday evening UK time and you'd like to try and run a mile in under 7 minutes, join me on Wednesday. I'll be leading Group B and streaming at the same time. Thanks Neil for the ride on, well done with the run today. We'll just run till it says the end. Should get a little banner, a little flutter of confetti or something I think. Or maybe not. We usually do. There we are. Pace group specific run, all done. Right, let's give some people a ride on while we still can. So let's give Steve a ride on. Well done Steve. Where's anyone else? Mr. Holt. Well done Mr. Holt. And Tim. Well done Tim. John Hancock. Well done John. Mr. Mill, who just gave me a ride on, where's he? There he is. Okay. Anyone else there? That'll do. Okay, that's it guys. So, 10.5 kilometres. And we started at 11.4 kilometres an hour and speeded up until we got to around about 13 or something. I think I had a few dropouts, so I had to speed up even more from time to time. Where are we? There we are. Let's get that camera up. There we are. Okay, you can always tell how hard somebody's worked by the amount of sweat coming off them at the end. That was good fun. Really enjoyed that. Listen, Zwift is so social, it's so enjoyable. Come and have a go yourselves, guys. Really, you'll totally enjoy it. You'll make some new friends. You'll get some extra training in that you didn't realise you were going to be able to do. If you can't leave the house, you know, if you have difficulty getting out on the streets, or if it's just too darn cold, then get yourself on Zwift. Thank you very much for joining me. See you on Wednesday night, live streaming of an attempt to get under 7-minute mile. Or if you want to, you can go for a sub 6-minute mile or a sub 8-minute mile. Join a different group, but I'll be leading the B group for a sub 7-minute mile. Take care. See you on Wednesday. Bye bye, guys.